Welcome back to the Tu-Vie podcast, your TV movie entertainment needs podcast. I am your host, man of the hour, the guy with the spotlight. I'm your host, James. Sitting with me, as always, is my co-host, Colin. He's got that sloppy wet hair. It's perfect looking for you, man. I love this My Chemical Romance look. It's
in
very
our
fitting.
in our friendship and in our life, I know you don't mean it that way. I don't want to hear you say sloppy.
I know, but here's
That's-
the thing. That's the
that's,
best way to describe the haircut. I've said it twice in the matter of 10 minutes,
well,
and it
not a hair.
felt wrong and right.
No, yeah, I put no paste or product in it, so I just kind of got
Just
out
my
of the.
tears.
It's very. I like it. I like it now. Like I live off of compliments. The other day I got a customer that came into through the drive-through, and he goes, "Man, your voice is so smooth," and that gave me adrenaline for the rest of the shift.
I gotta go order coffee at your Starbucks then, so I can hear what that sounds like.
I don't know what it's my normal voice, but it's like when I get really like not depressed, but like when I get sort of like low energy, like I just have a much smoother voice and it's a little bit slowed down, so it is, I guess it sounds good. But I have a bias against me, so I don't know.
Like a full Barry White when you're on the mic.
I'm not familiar with Barry White,
Barry
but he
White,
does.
he did that song where it's like with the piano, it's like oh baby, and then he also does like never gonna give you up. That one.
Yeah, yeah. Now
That's dude.
that was too good of an impression. I fuck.
It scared me. I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I had that power. I was. Oh my god.
The other day, I found out I can do pops from regular show. Don't ask me to do it now, because we
What is?
were
Shut up.
we
I
were
need you to do
doing
it. No,
we
no,
were
you can't.
doing
You can't say.
we
I don't need the
were
story. I need you to just do it. Hold on. Do it right. I need to hear it.
very good show, jolly good show. Did it a little bit better, but I was like scared to do it now
How did you find this out now? I needed to hear how
because we
how
were
how
we
good it
were doing
was.
Muscle Man
Ugh,
and that Starla where he goes like, my heart only belongs to one and it's Starla, something like
bro,
that. And then
I'm
like
seeing
he was doing
spots.
the Muscle Man scream of like just
I'm seeing spots right now, man. I don't know why I'm laughing that hard.
this is a hell of an intro.
That's so good. All right, let's get into it. So, despite everything that how it started, we are talking about a little bit of the Oscar nominations. We're not going to be doing that because that's what's going to be our Oscar nominations episode for, where we're talking about our predictions and everything. I do want to talk about some of the recent. I don't want to say uproar, but I would say constant trend of conversations where everyone's talking about how Ryan Gosling and America Ferrera got nominated for Best Supporting Actor and Actress, but Greta and Margot were snubbed for lead or best lead actress and best director. What's your take on all that? Because on the list I sent you, which is
I mean, Barbie
all the other
is
ones.
Barbie's a good movie, but like I don't know about like Oscar, because doesn't it like, and I'm trying to be as fair as possible because she is a really good director. She also has like better movies under her belt. Lady
Greta?
Bird. Yeah, Lady
Yeah, because
Bird.
I think all three of her movies were nominated, at least.
Yeah. I mean, like the thing is that I mean, doesn't it also feel a bit odd, like, because it's like with Barbie, yes, it is a good movie, but also it's like doesn't it kind of feel like we were going with the memes where like back then like Super Mario had the Peaches song and it's like, oh, that should like win an Oscar, like be at the awards, or like I Am Ken wins best song at the Oscars or like the Emmys or something like that. Like doesn't it just feel like they wanted it to win for the memes but not really because the movie is that good?
I don't know. I feel like Greta taking on an IP like Barbie, and we talk a little bit about this in our Greta Gerwig episode where we could break down her filmography and everything. You guys can check out now. But um, I feel like
And I'm not trying to be a dick, by the
no, no,
way.
I know, Colin, I know you're not. Cameron said it best where he was saying like she is a fantastic director where her creativity and originality is where it's shining best. So I think her best movie in her catalog is Lady Bird, because she's taking this story that a lot of people can relate to in various different ways, or even the whole thing, and that's where it gets all its praise from, because I think it's such a great movie because it's so human. And to go off with everything, it got best original screenplay nomination and best achievement in directing, and I also believe it did best supporting actress, lead actress, and then best picture nominee.
Okay.
So that's what that was. But um the thing is that I think with Barbie, it's an IP. It's everyone knows Barbie, everyone knows this, and I think the story that everyone thought was going to be made, like, oh, it's going to be this kind of like, everyone had their own opinion predetermined when the movie was announced, and when everyone
Prediction.
saw it, I think it it changed that perspective for the better, because when I went in, I had absolutely no clue. I mean, let me change that back. Before the trailer came out, I had no clue what this movie was going to be about. All I know is that it was Greta Gerwig, who is a director I trusted. She has two amazing movies, and then it's Barbie, an IP I don't know much about, nor do I have personal experience using. And I was like, I guess this isn't a movie for me. I guess this is for a specific audience. I didn't write it off, but I just assumed it wasn't going to be for me. But then when I went to go see it, and after watching the trailers and everything, first trailer, the teaser trailer, the 2001 Space Odyssey thing, fell in
That's
love with
great.
it. Fell in love with it. Then the full trailer, I loved it even more. And I thought it was great. And you know my stance on it. But I think saying it got snubbed is a little weird, because as much as it is a surprising shock to not see Greta get director nominations for it and have Margot not get nominated for it, the nominees themselves who are on those lists are great. And I'm also very, very happy, so incredibly happy that America Ferrera got nominated. We have said this on many, many times on the podcast that she is a delight.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, I will agree that like it is a little weird to say that like Barbie was snubbed, because it's still like it. I mean, it still did so well. It's like
Played in a week.
it's not like it underperformed and also didn't get the attention. It was a I almost said global phenomenon, but I'll just say
Mm-hmm.
it was a phenomenon that during in social media during
I'd say global phenomenon with Barbenheimer, you
yeah,
know?
but I just didn't want to go global because it's like I honestly don't know if like the rest of the world. But like still like it was a social media. Like it blew up. Like everybody and their mothers knew about Barbie and Oppenheimer. So
Yeah.
it's like, in one way, it's like, does the award really matter for them to like get it when like Barbie got like 1 billion in the box office, and there was like it just was like polar opposite movie. It just like everybody thought it was awesome,
Yeah,
and it,
no, and I
I
get that.
mean, it's just I don't know. It's like
It's a really weird line, because due to how successful it is, you would assume it gets like some sort of nomination, but commonly that's not how the Academy works. I mean, but there are some movies in here that didn't do like billions in the box office, barely even, I think, even like a few hundred millions. Like The Holdovers. Not a lot of people went to go see that in theaters. It was in theaters for like 2 weeks, I think. And now
yeah.
it's Oscar nominated for like 5 categories, I think.
I mean, it does look pretty.
You
Oh
just
no, no,
thumbs
no,
down The Holdovers, Colin?
no, 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 no.
Wow, how
I'm
for
gonna give like
shame. That is Paul Giamatti.
I'm gonna give two
I
thumbs up.
oh
I love Paul Giamatti. I
such a Fortnite animation effect. I think so stupid.
Yeah, #1 victory royale. Um, dude,
Yeah.
I still haven't seen the holdovers, but like I've seen the trailer and clips like a million times. Like I really just love that
Cameron gave
one
us his voodoo.
he did. Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't see it
Oh,
in
well,
the group chat.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll probably go and check it out. Like, cause I put my phone down for like a few hours and I got like 48 notifications. I'm like, do I have to read all this? I just
No,
got after work.
last night was different. We were just talking about some stuff we'll get to in a minute. But
God.
also for a little bit we were talking about um your very sad epiphany with Zack Snyder. which
Oh shit.
if
Oh,
we
we're
have
talking
time, if
about it
we no,
now.
we're not talking about that right now. If we have time, we'll definitely get to that.
I was
It's just speaking
screwed.
about the holdovers. I
I was
am,
broken.
yeah. Well, your BetterHelp schedule
This
is
podcast
comes in.
got to get by better up
It should be just for you.
just for me.
Yeah, I feel like we should get sponsored by BetterHelp. We both need it. So
Oh,
speaking of the
code sad
holdovers,
boy.
what
Promo code sad boy.
promo code? Just crying. I don't think I picked up on the mic, but it was a
No, I picked
sniffle.
up. I picked up.
Well, I'm probably on your end, probably not in post. But speaking of the holdovers, I am so glad. I've seen this movie. I think I saw it in one day 3 times. I don't know if I've told you this, but I have spoken outwardly on social media and everything how much I have loved this movie. And there is something in this movie that is so comforting when you watch it, but at the same time is a beautiful story. And Paul Giamatti possibly, and as everyone has said, gives his best performance. I think it's not maybe his best, but I think it's a second best. I know it's really, really good. But there's other movies he was just absolutely fantastic in. Like that one movie, I don't know if you were there in high school when we watched, maybe it was middle school, Colin, but do you remember when he played Ben Franklin in that one history movie?
Oh yeah, the Patriot.
Something like, was it The Patriot?
I think it was the
No
No,
shot.
no. It was that movie where he was defending. I don't know if he played Ben Franklin.
No,
I mean,
he
he
did
probably
one.
did. He probably did, babe. He could have done two historical movies because there was one where like he was a lawyer for like the soldiers during the
Okay.
Boston Massacre.
It was a Ben Franklin TV series that hold on. Oh, hold on. Wait, I got it. It's the John Adams TV miniseries that happened in
There we go.
2008. That's what we were watching in class for something about the founding fathers. Absolutely no clue about why. All I know is that I remember that Paul Giamatti fit that wig beautifully.
He
But
did.
either way, I'm really excited. The Holdovers is really getting their nominations correctly, with especially Divine Joy Randolph in the Holdovers. She was the lead cook in the cafeteria. She was incredible in this movie, and I frankly think if you haven't seen the Holdovers yet, go watch it now. It's beautiful. It's on Peacock. I don't know if you've been watching that. Do you have Peacock?
Oh my God, I could have seen it.
Do you have
We have
Peacock?
Peacock. Yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
All
Yeah,
right,
I
so
watched
it's there. You watched the TED show? I just finished that last night. Dude,
the entire thing.
so funny.
Funny.
If you have not seen the TED show, get a free weekly account and binge the whole TED series. That alone is so funny.
He came to spread that he loved everyone. I love you. Your
It's
move. What do you say? Your
Friar
move.
Tuck. I watched that one episode. My favorite delivery of that entire episode, and spoilers, it's a TED show. Just get used to it. It's when the mom was talking to the dad, and she was like, "You haven't made stool. It's been 2 days. You need to call the doctor." And he's like, "I went yesterday. It was a good one." And he goes, "It's just because Seth MacFarlane's delivery is great." He's like a mother hen crowing over her nest. It's so good.
Dude, the dad and the mom are my favorite characters in that
It's
show.
so good.
Is
So
there
funny.
a gas leak or something? It's just like the best. Like I
Gosh.
love that show. It's not only funny but also hits quite well. Like
Do you think
the
it's a
like
little
the
sad
scene.
at the same time because you now see like John being this innocent young boy? He had goals and a dream to then now see this wash up in the Ted movies. It's a little sad.
I mean, it's a little sad, but like also it's like I mean, he wasn't going to be a lawyer or president, you know. It's
Just those, if you're not those two things, might as well just die.
you
Lawyer or
know,
president.
I mean, it's a comedy show, and it's also like I think it would be sadder if like him and Ted broke up. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, they can't do that. All right, sorry. Back on to the
yeah.
Oscar noms. For best animated feature film, Spider-Man luckily made it on there. I'm glad it made it on there. There's a lot of great movies like Elemental. Booyah. Very excited about that. But it didn't get where is it at? I think it's best original song. Yeah, it didn't get original score at all.
What did?
Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse didn't get a single original score.
No, what did though?
Oh, Fire Inside from the Flamin' Hot Cheetos movie.
I
I'm
can't
Just Ken.
begin fantastic.
No, that's an actual thing. That was a real movie. I did watch it.
Flamin' hot Cheeto.
Yeah, it's a Flamin' Hot Cheetos movie where it's about this. It's a story about the guy that helped create, Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Okay.
It was. I mean, it was a fine movie. It was an
That'd be
interesting
a
take on
damn
the
good
movie.
song.
Apparently so. I'm Just Ken. It never went away. Wazahazi, a song for my people from Killers of the Flower Moon. That's a good one. And then what was I made for from Barbie by Billie Eilish. That's a nice song.
Now I'm thinking about it because I'm thinking about it a little harder now. I don't I don't know if like Spider-Verse.
I can name three.
Okay.
Am I dreaming? Self love and Hummingbird. Oh, and the Dominic Sisa song, Mona Lisa.
I feel like you can take out Flamin' Hot Cheetos and just put Spider-Verse in it.
And someone's like, it's like a Cheetos movie outbeats Spider Man, biggest villain of all time. That was like a post somewhere I saw, but it was that was a definite interesting one to see. And for Best Picture, there's a lot of great ones in there. I'm very excited, like I said, to see the holdovers on that list. And Barbie made the list for Best Picture, but it was interesting to see Greta not get there. We're gonna get into a lot more of these things. I will say for the final touch of the conversation that Godzilla minus one got a nomination for Best Visual Effects. So
Good.
let's go, dude. Are you gonna go see the black and white one?
Uh, if we can make it work.
Godzilla minus one minus color
Yeah.
looks
I
so
mean, like,
good.
when is that re-releasing? Because it's probably in select
Like
theaters.
now,
Okay.
probably
When are
not.
you available?
I don't
But
even
well,
know.
actually, why am I asking you? We
You
can
just
take care of
go.
the.
Yeah, you go see it and you can go. I don't know if I'll be able to. You definitely go see it. But if there's a DVD, for sure I'm copping. There's no way I'm
Yeah.
missing that. That's so good. But all these other ones that are on this list, I actually I actually got up early to watch the nominations live. Did you do that? So they started at like 7:30 in the morning here. It's like 5:30 in Hollywood or wherever they did it. So it's early. But I remember being up early and like freaking out with over every single nominations list because there are so many great roles that got nominated. Like Mark Ruffalo got nominated for Poor Things. And I was really excited to see all that. And so kind of seeing it go live was really interesting to see. So next year you got to try it. It's a very euphoric feeling.
I mean, yeah, but like I had no idea they were gonna do that, and I don't know. I don't think it's something I would watch live.
No,
You
yeah.
know, I mean, you're more insane than I am to do that.
Well, I had to get up early anyways, so I was like, yeah,
Okay.
it's
All right. I'm just glad that like you didn't purposely do that.
no, no, no. And actually, before we go on to the next topic, I am very, very, very so happy that Lily Gladstone got nominated for Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, no, I'm like
It's so
she
good.
did an amazing job. I
So good.
again, I think one of my I only say one of mine because every time I say my favorite, I always think of like three others and then I get mixed up. But like she's one of like I can count all of my favorite performances and on one hand. And dude, she's on there. Like I was really it was one of the few times in a movie where I was really sucked in. Like honestly sucked in where like I wasn't thinking about like the writing or the directing. I was actually just watching the movie and she just I was so uncomfortable. And that is the best compliment I can give her. It's like I truly wanted to help her. Like she just really gave I because I don't know if you never seen it, right?
It's not that I haven't seen it. I've seen a lot. I haven't found time to sit down and watch the whole thing. I've seen enough, and I've seen a lot explicitly her performance because her is it pronounced superlatives or super like is superlatives the ones you get in high school like most likely to do this, right?
Mm, uh I I mean you kind of said it, but I don't know the nomenclature behind it.
I think it's pronounced superlatives, whatever. She was in her high school yearbook, or I think it was college yearbook. I think it was high school. She was most likely to win an Oscar, and she and this other guy was sitting next to her, and I can't remember his name, But it was interesting to see that even back then, people knew she was gonna make it all the way to the big, and I'm glad to see that it's for
No,
this movie of all
yeah,
things.
yeah, no, of this movie on this like high of a caliber,
Mhm.
is like this is Martin Scorsese.
Mhm.
You know, it's like this is like the guy to make a movie. It was
Yeah,
also one of the few times I really hated Leonardo. Like not a person, not as a person, I don't
his
know,
role.
but his role, like
Yeah,
he just was just really slimy and scummy. Like not
yeah.
like slimy and scummy, like he was, I mean, he was a horrible, horrible human being, but like he also had like, he loved his wife, but also I don't want to get too much into it because I want you to watch
I
it.
do need to make time. I need, but all all
It's
all what I have seen is Lily, and she is outstanding.
good.
She better
It's
win that
good.
Oscar.
I really hope so because I,
Me
I
too.
I would be I don't care much about the Oscars, but I want that for her.
Yeah, yeah.
I
No, no.
really want that for her, dude.
It'd be so freaking cool, dude. All right, let's get into the next topic. So there was a big reveal this I think it was like yesterday. As of this recording, it was yesterday. Probably gonna be for a few days at when this comes out, but we got Daredevil Born Again spoilers, but they were set photos, so these are fine spoilers. We're not gonna say exactly. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put a timestamp. This is the timestamp right now. For audio listeners, the timestamp is 31:38. It's a good timestamp. If you're not wanting to hear about these spoilers, go to this part of the episode. We're going to be past it. But if you want to stay and hear about it, you have, 3, 2, 1. Daredevil Born Again. Let's do this.
All right. So I wouldn't say there's spoilers in terms of like we get surprise appearances that we didn't see coming, but makes sense.
Yeah.
And the first one, just get out of the way, just rip the band-aid off. White Tiger. All right.
Booyah.
Do we know who this White Tiger is?
Yes.
Possibly Ava's mom. Is that her name, Ava?
It
Dad,
is no
dad.
Ava is correct. That is a white tiger, but I believe it's her dad Hector.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't mean to say mom. But it could be the dad. Hopefully, like the suit looks better from the front, but from the back, to be honest, it looked like, those like animal like kind of like blanket sort of like that has the
Like
ears
the
when you
wolf face shirts,
what?
like the just like a
No, it
like
covers
the
the entire body like a jumpsuit, but like you put the hood up and then there's
yeah.
ears. It kind of reminded me of that, but hopefully it looks better or there's a reason behind it. But
Well,
overall,
it kind
like
of looks like
it's cool.
Spider-Man's homemade suit.
Yeah, but I also like it. Yeah, but like the homemade suit was garbage too.
So maybe this is a homemade vigilante suit.
I know,
I
but
th-
what I mean is like I hope there's an explanation and that's like not the final thing because it is an unflattering photo to say the least. It's
it's
just like
CGI. This was just the holding spot for the suit. It's just gonna be completely CGI.
what's sad is that you could be right.
Yeah, I do hope he at least is wearing the white tiger amulet. I believe it's what it is that imbues the powers, and that the suit was just like an afterthought.
I hope not. I hope it's just like his. I mean, it is a cool thing, but it's like for
Stick it
that
in there.
universe, in Daredevil, it's like I think it'd be more badass if he's just like really well trained.
Maybe, but I don't know. I know like the whole point of the white tiger is that that's where it comes from, and I know that Ava herself was a skilled fighter by herself without it. But I do hope they still stick with the lore of the character without
Yeah,
straying too far from it. And
but like not
you're right though.
laughing. Like I mean, not
Yeah,
laughing. I'm sorry. Not like I want it to because like yeah no like hold true to like source material, but also it's like when you bring in like magic like that in a Daredevil show, I
yeah,
kind of get worried because
I
I don't
get it.
want it to go too much
I get it. And
and
that's a fair
detract
statement.
of
That's a fair statement. Yeah.
detract from like the street level stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and I totally agree. That's a fair statement in thinking going into magic from street level.
Because I've been
That's a
like the
good point.
kind of person to where like if you bring Spider-Man into like Black Panther thing, that's a different thing because that's a Black Panther story with like Spider-Man in it. But it's like when you sort of bring other characters that like it's hard to explain in this. There's so many
Such a,
distractions.
it's all good. So I get what you're saying. It's almost like a hierarchy of situations where it's like street goes to city, city goes to like country, country goes to space, space goes to
Because every
universe.
Daredevil story, it's like at the end of the day, it's like it's like when people got turned off when Peter Parker became a billionaire or like stuff like that. It's like, there's really like you want that friendly neighborhood aspect, the same
Yeah.
way as Daredevil street level crime
Mm.
stories,
Yeah,
you
and I
know.
completely agree. And so
So
having Spider-Man show up with the Guardians would be super weird, but having the Guardians show up to Spider-Man could make sense if if the story were to make sense.
yeah, yeah. If it was a Spider-Man story and you went to the Guardians, it's weird. It's weird.
It
I
has to be
mean,
for
but it
something.
works. But it works in an Avengers movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I totally agree. And we talked about this a little bit in the group chat where if for Spider-Man 4, I do hope we get to see Daredevil, but it's done in the sense where it was in Echo, where it's like out of nowhere. There isn't like, you guys need any help? And it's like his like foot coming into frame, and it's like bumper, and it's like Daredevil. Like Spider-Man's doing a thing. Daredevil comes in the halfway and it's just like I had him and something like that, like the street level banter, and then he's gone would be great because that is how it works. Not like Echo did it very, very well. He just showed up, they had their fight, he left, he did their thing. But I don't want another Tony Stark thing like in Homecoming, where
What do you mean?
it was like it was promoted that he was going to be in there for majority of the movie. They had that Spider-Man and Toby bye
Uh,
bye thing in the swing where it would seem like
are
he
you
was going to be
worried that's the
having.
White Tiger?
No, I'm worried that for Spider-Man 4, that's what they're going to be doing for Daredevil. Like it's going to be
Um,
highly promoted, but he's not going to have that much of an influence. I don't want any
like
promotion for
yeah,
Daredevil.
like what they did with Echo.
Well, I want what they did with
Yeah.
Echo in Spider-Man
Well,
4.
I mean, yeah, but like in the promotion as well,
Oh,
it's like,
sure.
we kind of saw technically 20
Percent of what it
20
was.
to 30% of like Daredevil out of like a 3 to 4 minute action fight scene.
Yeah. It was a good fight
Uh,
scene though.
it was an amazing fight scene. I replayed that shit all the time.
It was
It
good.
was so good. I just love that little like flip he does through the thing, and it's just like it just the choreography of that is great. I
I
will
love
say
Charlie.
though, like I will say I'm a little bit mad that you pointed out that rubbery.
CGI
Like
push up.
I wish you didn't do that because I didn't
Sorry.
notice.
How could you
I
not?
Cause it just was like it was a small, quick little thing, and then now every time you do that, like I in my head, I remember the text is like, why did he do a CGI push up? And
Sorry.
I'm like, I just it's not your fault, not your fault. It's just
Well,
my brain, how that
not
works.
my fault. But we also
But
did get to, as much as we did get to see White Tiger go what seems to be like defending some kind of like convenience store, like a what's it called, like a bodega.
he's gonna rob it.
He's gonna rob it. No, I was gonna talk about Muse. We got the street art from Muse, dude.
I know, I'm just messing with you, dude.
Like we got street art from Muse, man.
It's gonna
Muse.
be, he's the character I don't know about, but I know that a lot of hardcore Daredevil fans were excited.
Yeah, and
And
all I know is that he's gonna be really cool.
it's an interesting pick. And speaking of people that are returning that we actually really care about, is our trio is back.
Yes, the
Foggy,
avocados at law.
Avocados Outlaw. Dude, I am
Yeah.
very, very excited. Dude, Foggy looks good. I like the cut.
Yeah, yeah, he's got some style with him. So yeah, we have Foggy, Karen, and Nelson, or as they
But my
said,
personal favorite, who is coming back, James, would you like to announce?
Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin.
No, we already knew that. It's Bullseye.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Bullseye's coming back. Finally, that teaser at the end of season 3 will finally make sense.
finally.
I'm so glad. And I if they actually do this thing where it's like he rips off the Daredevil horns and makes his costume
That
from
would be
that,
it would be really cold as
that'd
fuck
be
if
pretty
he
rad.
rips it off.
I
Dude,
do
that
hope
would
when they
be so
do
good.
that, they see, here's the thing. I know this is so not on to what we're talking about, but you know the a sentence we say all too often here. But you remember that bit in Aquaman, the very first one, where Black Manta he was like building his suit and they were playing It's No Good by Depeche Mode when he was like it was like the montage of him building a suit.
Maybe. I mean,
I
I know
well
I remember the suit being built. I just don't remember the song.
okay, either way. I hope it's something like that just because I just like that moment. But I really hope they actually see him like like you said, tearing off the horns and having
I mean, it'd be
this
better if
moment.
like, we got that like the bee buzz sound effect back again where like, he's freaking out and then like, he's because in season 3, like,
Oh,
there
that's
was
right.
like this weird like, buzzing, where it's just like he was irritated and just bring back like that thing because like I personally like because Bullseye in the comics, like he was more of like a nihilistic psychopath where he got, he was gleeful off of like killing people, but like with this one, it's like a little more grounded, but like 3 dimensional instead of
Yeah.
him, being just straight up like a bad guy for the sake of him being a bad guy. Like he had goals and ambitions, and I do like my villains to be a little more well-rounded people as opposed to like just killing for the sake of killing. That
Yeah.
stuff is fine, but like if you're like a throwaway like villain of the week, sure. But like Bullseye is like really detrimental to the lore of Daredevil,
No,
especially
I
with
get
him
that.
being the one to kill Elektra.
Yeah. And also, I would, I'd be careful with throwing around the villain of the week phrase because you might say that towards a villain, then he becomes an interdimensional traveling, super villain. I'd be careful.
I mean, but like that was Chris and Phil lore. Not everybody can pull that off the way they did.
No, not everyone could, but that was so well done. I am liking what we're seeing though. We have the avocados back at law. Looks great. We got a new sign for Nelson, Murdoch, and Page, which looks really, really well done. And I'm loving what they're doing. They're going back to the street feel that we had in the first season. And I'm
Yeah.
loving this idea of having New York be explored with a kingpin that's gonna be running for mayor, having these all the different new villains come out into the MCU correctly now, because after saying it wasn't canonical for 6 years now, I think the Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Defenders TV show is now canonical to the MCU. So much so they even put in the MCU timeline thing on Disney Plus.
You know what's weird
We all
is
knew
that
it.
we all knew,
We all
and like
knew.
people were still surprised. I was like, this has always been a thing. If you sort of, so you remember that I brought this up before, but I'm gonna bring it up again. Do
Yeah.
you remember that Daredevil poster where like he's like it's like the red outline and he has his like shirt off but like the mask on and like he's doing this T pose. Well, if you sort of like zoom in the poster, you can find the Avengers Tower.
You see Stark Tower. But also the thing is
It's,
that in Luke Cage, they mentioned the Hulk fight that was in Harlem, like years
they
before.
also mention Hammer Industries.
Mhm.
They bring up, like you said, the Harlem fight, the Battle of New York, aliens, that famous line. Well, maybe if he had an iron suit or a magic hammer, it's just like, that's always been. And even like when you brought in Daredevil and the She Hulk or Spider Man No Way Home, and it was exactly like Charlie Cox's Daredevil, it's like, okay, so everything else did happen.
Yeah,
We
so
also even
it's
got like the Daredevil theme from She Hulk where it was like, "Na, na, na." So it's just like, I don't know the surprise.
yeah,
Everybody
no.
was,
I
I
will be
was like,
more
oh,
surprised the
what?
day they say Agents of Shield is now canonical because that show ruled. And then I got a little long.
Yeah, I mean, it
You didn't
is
like
so
it at all.
wholesome.
You didn't like it at all.
It just never gelled with me. That's all.
That's
It's
fine.
just like
No, that's
not
fine.
my thing. I don't want to watch Shield stories,
No, I
without
get it. But
favorite character.
it wasn't just Shield stories. It was like stories that took place because of certain events from the actual movies. And at the same time, actually, I remember when Civil War, the day before Civil War came out, they had Avengers Agents of Shield episode. And in that episode, it spoiled Civil War. Like just the day before. Because I think Civil War was supposed to come out before it, and it got delayed or something.
What did they say? Something like Captain America's a war criminal now, or like
Something
he?
actually very similar to that. They were like, after the battle in Berlin, Captain America now on the run. It's like, whoa! It's a very small thing, but when you hear it, it's like, so he's just a criminal now.
That's kind of cool.
It was
But
really
I don't know.
cool.
I never really liked the cast. I mean, not the cast, like not the people. It's just that like it it didn't do anything for me. Is what I mean. It's like it just didn't impress me, except for like the effects of Ghost Rider, the special effects for the Ghost Rider.
Don't even get me
Like that
started
that
on
was
that. Don't
that
even
was
get me
really cool.
started, dude. They had a Robbie
Robbie Reyes is a
Reyes.
really good Ghost Rider.
I
That
was so
muscle
excited.
fire is just
I have that as a Hot Wheels. It was a Hot Wheels, little tiny Hot Wheels of the car from the Robbie Reyes' car.
that's cool.
It's so cool. I was
It
so
is.
happy to see Robbie get in the show, but I was also more happy to see the Inhumans in that show because you know me, I love me some
I like
Inhumans.
that moment. I like that moment though. Like I have seen that clip come up from time to time where he's like, "I'm inhuman" or something like that. He says something like that, and just like the way he says it, I was just like, "Man, you pulled that off. Like you kind
And
of
it was really well
that."
done. It was really well done. And I like how even with the moment where you find out who's an Inhuman, or even the moment where they get so the Terrigen Mist was vastly different than what it's done in the comics. So Terrigen Mist is, the mist, and then they have the powers. But in this case, it was the Terrigen crystals that unleashed the mist and that turned you to rock. And if you had powers, the rocks fall off after like 6 seconds or something. But if you are a normal individual, like a human being, you die. Like that was that. And I remember seeing all that. I'm like, yo, that's sick because it's showing like the actual transformation of all these different characters going from regular beings and then finding out they have this power.
Yeah,
It's cool.
and it is cool. The Inhumans,
I know.
they're all right. It's just like they're cool, but like also like I wouldn't read everything about them. There was like this really cool story of called Death of the Inhumans, and it was Black Bolt, and Black Bolt, he was having this moment where like he like so there's this character, I forget his name, but like uh he like slashed Black Bolt's throat, but he still had some bolt, like he still had
I think it
some
was his
voice.
brother,
And
maybe.
how he is, no, it wasn't his brother, it was like this guy in black. It's just like, doesn't matter, he's a bad guy. And so he was tied down, and how he escaped was all of the members of the Inhumans that passed away, he'd whispered in the ears of the guards of like, his name was Lockjaw, like Brad, or no, not his brother, not his brother, for the again, not his brother. It was a villain. Um, I don't know the Inhumans. Sorry, I barely remember.
Blackagar, Boltagon, Lockjaw, Medusa,
Derek,
Brad. It's
John. But yeah, that's probably the only Inhuman story I've read. It was written by a writer I really like, Donny Cates. He created Null and all of the lore behind the
yeah.
symbiotes. Yeah, King in Black. We're probably gonna get that in Venom 3 before we ever get to see Venom and Spider-Man. That's awesome, right, James?
Brad. Sorry. So laughing at Brad.
Yeah, your sense of
Sorry.
humor is broken.
Sorry. I just because like they have so many great names like Gorgon. And then we have like Ms. Marvel.
Is Gorgon an actual name?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a great name.
It's not a great name, but it's better than
Why was that your
Brad.
first draft pick? Why was that? There's so many great names. Gorgon.
Brad.
Again, I don't read the Inhumans. I'm
Honestly, I'm
sorry.
not gonna lie. I think Brad would have been better than Gorgon.
Lady Medusa, whatever her name is, her superpower is her hair moves. That's it. It's not really
It
cool.
extends, it can lift
It
stuff.
extends and it grabs and stuff like that. It doesn't look good. I'm sorry.
I think it looks awesome.
All right.
Well, Inhumans are
Famous
cooler than Inhumans are cooler than X-Men. Just get used to that. It's all good. So moving on from that,
Wolverine, Deadpool, Professor
Brad.
X, Beast,
We have Brad, bro.
Jean Grey, Cyclops. You're telling me those in that like little kingdom are better than the X-Men?
Yeah, by far.
You know what? I'm not even gonna be mad because I already know. It's fine. It's fine. I already. It's
Because I'm yanking your chain on this because I
yeah.
just
No,
knew
I know now.
just knew that
I
little
know.
nugget was just gonna get you.
Yeah. No, it's just like you can't say something like that to me because I know how much you
Oh,
love the.
so let's do this. You got a little furry you got a little cat guy. Ooh, I'm so smart. Because he's blue. And then you got a girl who controls the weather. You know who else does that? Anyone on
Al
TV.
Walker.
Out. And then you got a guy who can't look with his eyes without normal shades. Okay, you know what? Let's the whole I keep my sunglasses on at night is getting a little old. Okay.
I'm gonna let you get. I'm gonna work. You know what? You work your way down the
You know
X
what?
Men. I'm gonna go.
You know who made videos about firing the X-Men? Pete Holmes. You know whoever made videos about firing the Inhumans? No one. Case closed.
Hey, what's your favorite movie again? Thor: Love and Thunder.
I
All
know
right.
Thor Love and Thunder is not a
You
perfect
like
movie. I can
one
still
good
enjoy
scene
it.
in Thor: Love and
I love
Thunder.
many great scenes in Thor Love. I know many, many great scenes in Thor Love
What,
and Thunder.
Thor pouring a beer over his hammer?
Yes, that's a great moment.
The funny
He's
one?
sharing a beer with someone he
He's the
loves. But
god
no,
of thunder, and he became a bitch.
I agree. They did not do Thor well. Same way, you know who they did worse is Hulk. Don't even get me started.
Oh
But
my god, the Hulk is
I will never,
atrocious.
because you know what?
I
That actually
never
brings into
the
this
Hulk.
question. There's this question going around on social media. Who would win in a fight? Kratos or Hulk? And
Kratos.
everyone is saying Kratos. What?
Yes.
No. No shot. You
I,
just said
have you
Kratos.
played any of the God of War
Yes,
games?
I have played the God of War games.
All of them?
I haven't played the newest one.
Do you know what he does?
I know what he does, but I feel like when you get World Breaker Hulk,
No.
there's no shot, dude. I
No.
think
Yeah,
Hulk by
no shot.
himself.
Kratos.
Hold on. Regular Hulk, no
You know
shot.
how much I love Hulk?
I know how much
You
you
know
love
how
Hulk.
much I love Hulk.
I know.
Kratos Hulk would put up a fight. World Breaker Hulk would put up
I'd
a
say
fight.
that, yeah.
He would put up a fight,
Yeah.
but Kratos would come out on top. That is
I
a
I
fucking my friend.
I understand that Kratos could come on top. I firmly believe that. I think regular Hulk absolutely stands no chance. When you get him mad enough, and you will get him mad enough, World Breaker Hulk gone. He's done.
I'm
He pulled a
no,
planet together.
wait, did he?
Hulk?
Yeah, did he?
I believe it was a planet.
I don't know. Are you talking about World War Hulk?
That's what I was saying. World Breaker Hulk.
No, World War Hulk, the story arc.
No, hold on. Did Hulk pull a planet back together? Hold on. Oh, sorry. It was tectonic plates. I'm sorry. That's even, I think, harder. The structure of
Is
a whole
it?
planet.
It's a planet and tectonic plates.
Tectonic plates keep the planet connected, from what I remember in school, right?
I don't know.
That's the stuff that makes earthquakes, dude.
I mean, sure, but like pulling a planet out of orbit?
I didn't say out of orbit. I said back together.
How would you? Okay, if you pull a planet, you're taking it out of orbit.
I get that, but he's pulling the tectonic plates back together. So it was, I believe, already going out of orbit and pulling it back to its similar shape.
Isn't the tectonic plates like keeping
No.
the planet together?
Yeah, so when he pulls them back together, he pulls it back together. He pulled the planet back. In other words, he pulled the planet back together.
Isn't it? Regardless, I don't know, but it's like okay, are we talking about?
I told you
I don't.
explicitly. I told you
I don't want to
explicitly.
get into this debate, man. I don't want to get into this debate.
Hold on. I said you can go back
uh,
36 seconds. You can go back seconds. I just said regular Hulk and everything in between.
I
Kratos
know.
stands a chance. Does not. Kratos wins. Kratos wins, no problem. But World Breaker Hulk, no way. Absolutely no way.
I don't know. Because I'll be honest with you, dude. Like Kratos has killed many gods.
Absolutely, he has killed so many gods. But here is the thing:
how many people did World Breaker Hulk just like?
he has obliterated planets easily.
What's the reference?
The in the Immortal Hulk, he has destroyed a planet in the Immortal Hulk series.
Okay, but that's not World Breaker Hulk.
That is part of the Hulk thing.
Okay, if it's part of the Hulk thing, because like you just said 2 seconds ago, regular Hulk and World Breaker Hulk.
Because World Breaker Hulk
is a different personality.
I'm doing this.
Immortal
I'm doing this
Hulk
one time. Okay, hold on. Ready. World Breaker Hulk has broken a Jupiter-sized planet with his punches as World Breaker Hulk. The entire Dark Dimension itself was destroyed as a side effect of this battle.
Yeah,
the Red She-Hulk.
That is pretty powerful, yeah.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah, a little too excited there. Relax.
I didn't get too excited. I know that I'm correct, but I'm only correct to the standard if it's World Breaker Hulk. If it's regular,
what pisses me off is that
wrong.
I also simultaneously helped you in your debate, and
You didn't help me at all. You didn't help me a single thing. I knew these things.
No, yeah, off secondhand knowledge.
Secondhand knowledge? I knew about these things. I said he destroyed a planet.
Should I pull out my fucking catalog? and then
Colin,
you pull yours.
just because I don't
I'm
own the
pretty sure I
comic does
helped
not.
you with your catalog, bitch.
Colin, you never gave me a Hulk one that was planned. You never gave me Immortal Hulk. I did my
No.
own reading.
Okay, you read it?
Not the full thing. I read enough about the Hulk. I didn't read the full storyline, but I read that story.
And I'm pretty sure that
So hold on, let me
that
take this. Let
what
me
you're
take hold on.
referencing with the because like World Break. I'm helping you, helping you. Don't time me out. That's gonna piss me off. Um, I'm pretty sure that was like during because Bruce Banner actually has a psychotic episode, and
Yeah.
World Break Hulk does come in. I think around his appearance is earlier, but like I think the last volume was or the last two volumes, I believe. It's like because that's the only part. Like I read all the way up till like volume 5 or 6. So I had no idea he punched a fucking Jupiter.
Oh, it's late. It's a late. It's not that new. It's been a story that's been out, I want to say 8, 9 years. It's
World
got
War
some.
Hulk,
No, the story I'm talking about, the Jupiter thing.
Immortal Hulk.
The Jupiter
It
thing.
hasn't been no, not has been hasn't because like that's probably like
Well, what's the
because
year?
like
2020.
Immortal Hulk is like the most recent series, like 2 writers ago.
No, I know. What how what's the year on that though? It wasn't.
It came out. Oh my god.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. What's the word? What's the
Um.
it's the
Because
late
Immortal Hulk
2010s.
came out like 2017, 2018. No, 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 no. 2020, I believe.
No way.
Yes, it was a recent series, dude. Because after Al Ewing, because I was the writer, Donnie Cates came in for 2 volumes, and then Philip K. Johnson or Jonathan, whichever, he's the new Hulk writer. All right, because Al Ewing just finished his series because it lasted 10 volumes.
I'm trying to find out when this comic I was reading came out.
Because it might be World War Hulk
I,
or
I'm trying to find when
one
the
of the.
comic came out. In the description of the website, it has like a beige background and green letters. I can't even read this. Either way, I read about that moment. It was insane to see him punch Jupiter
I
sized
don't know.
planets.
Kratos will survive in space. I hope so.
Bam, bam, he could. If the planet he's sitting on is destroyed, Kratos is gone. But again, I'm telling you, Kratos would win out of the, let's say, 4 different versions of Hulk. We have Hulk, yada, yada, yada. World Breaker Hulk, no way. The other 3, hands down, can take him. Absolutely no problem.
Yeah. All right. World War Hulk wins.
But I will say this in terms of numbers
I
of
mean, World
fights,
War.
3 out of 4, Kratos. I'm not saying that Kratos is stupid good.
Yeah.
Where were we going with this? Oh, we somehow got onto the Inhumans for this because of the X-Men. That's right, X-Men.
Uh,
I say
we were
X-Men.
talking about Daredevil Born Again, dude.
X-Men has better stories, way better stories. I just like the Inhumans because I feel like the X-Men is sometimes so focused on that. I know Marvel doesn't give a shit about the Inhumans. They don't like them for some reason. I know Kevin Feige has a vendetta against them, but it was for me. And if it's the one time we ever see Black Bolt in live action,
I mean, I think if you like throw in the Inhumans, you make the MCU just a little more complicated.
because I understand. Because people sometimes ask, "What's the difference between Inhuman and X-Men?" It's because it's a being that is a normal person until a certain event happens, and that they're now imbued with these powers. One of them is just lineage in a certain chromosome, and then the other one is just because you're built different. Like, isn't that just a little? Isn't that a little weird? Like a little confusing?
It is, yeah. It because it does raise a lot of questions of like it does it's like yeah, what is the difference really? Because but I mean, I guess you can just sort of explain it where it's like, it's just another, it's not a mutation. It's like another way of like a mutation, but it's not, you don't qualify as like a mutant. It's just like it's a bloodline. But I
It's
guess
a
like also,
bloodline, but
but
think at the same
also like
time,
mutants are also like a bloodline
bloodline.
as well because it's like, right.
Hold on. The X-Men is because of the X chromosome, I believe, right? The extra X chromosome, or from there was
Yeah.
a certain chromosome. There's the X chromosome.
Uh, it
No,
was a gene.
it was a gene. It was not chromosome. Oops. It was the X gene.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the X gene that is activated around when you sometime you hit puberty.
Just it was the X gene, not chromosome. That's that's something else. That's why I didn't do that great in school. Yes, so they're born with the X gene. That's so bad. Can't believe I said that. X gene that generally manifests after or during puberty, and
Well, I
that
also would like to announce to the Tu-Vie podcast is that like I am a fan of the X-Men. I have not read every single. It's just like knowledge
there's a
that I've
lot.
gained from other Marvel comics, and there's like just so much to explore with like the
There's a
X-Men.
lot,
I'm starting off the Jonathan Hickman era.
and it's a good era to go into. And I am the same
Yep.
way. You and I,
Island of Krakoa, bitch. I love that era. Like it's just like it's really cool because like the X-Men declare to the world that they are gods and they are better than them. And it's awesome.
I do like that one. I don't remember what the series was, but that one Cyclops suit where the X is over his. No, it wasn't Cyclops. It was Professor X
That's
himself.
correct.
Yeah, that was Professor X. I always consider because he's so young and he's got. I
Yeah,
love
I
that
know.
look.
I thought it was Cyclops too. I was like, holy shit.
That's kind of a rad look for Cyclops, but the sense of Professor X one, I love that one. I love it so much. So good. Before we wrap up on everything here, I want to talk about this new thing that's coming out in. I'm actually by the time this episode, I think the day of or the next day when this episode comes out. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League.
Oh boy.
Yeah, what a game. So, for
What
those who may not,
a tragedy. It's tragedy.
with a capital Tra. So this game, if you haven't been following with this game or you're new to the whole world of video games, welcome. So what this game is a continuation of the Arkham series, which is the first three games: Arkham City,
Not a
Arkham Asylum. It's not a continuation. It's not in the same world.
it's all right, I'll explain.
It's not. Hold on.
So
It's not the same world as the
it's
Arkham series.
yeah, it's not a continuation. It is set in the Arkham world, but it's not continuing the Arkham
No, I
series.
know. It's a
That,
continuation of the Arkham world. Like just that that canonical
I'm
sense
just
of
making sure that the audience isn't confused
no,
because
yeah.
it's don't expect a lot of Batman with the title like Kill the Justice League. Because a lot
Well,
of people still get to be fair to you, a lot of people still get like, surprised or butthurt that, Batman is gonna get murked.
frankly, with a name like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, I'm not surprised that
Yeah,
Batman's
but
going to get
we
murdered.
live in a world filled with stupid people, and we're also a part of
You
the
sound like you
fan
were grouping
base
me in
as
with that.
well. And people do get, people. You're a Star Wars fan, and even Star Wars fans are a little much. So, like, just imagine like the
Oh, I know.
comment sections of like DC. It's just,
Yeah,
it's
well, I'm not one of those
even,
guys.
dude. Even you can find like 500 comments on like the Suicide Squad trailer, and like a few of them are like James Gunn sucks and blah blah blah. It's like literally like it's just it is a
Did
volatile
you
air.
did you see that guy? I don't know his name. I never want to know his name. He was a Twitch streamer that he was watching the trailer for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and it gets to the Batman part, and he's holding up the bomb, like the detonator. Then it's like,
Mhm.
I am the night. I am vengeance. I am Batman. I know I got that first part backwards, but it's Kevin Conroy doing his signature quote, from the show to the game to even doing it in presses. And he goes, that doesn't sound anything like Batman. Kind of sounds more like Alfred. We're like, huh?
Good God.
Huh?
Probably
That
not a
guy
bad.
that has voiced Batman for 30 plus years, it's compared to Alfred.
That is rough.
That's raunchy, dude. That's so crude. And he literally pauses it to say this stuff right as you can see the text. We miss you, Kevin. Like you can see it right.
Oh,
It's so bad. I never have seen anyone mess up so hard in my life.
you really dropped the ball on that
Dude,
one.
nah. Football players dropped the ball. He messed up completely. So back to what we were talking about. So the Suicide Squad game takes place in the same world as the Batman Arkham games.
Yeah.
Asylum, City, Night, and I guess
Yeah.
Origins because
Also, sorry to cut you off and be the actually guy. I'm sorry about
well,
that.
you are the resident video game guy here since I only have a Switch.
Well,
So
scholar of the Arkham games. Just
as a
don't ask me about Baldur's Gate 3 because that's Cameron's.
that's Cameron's deal.
Yeah,
But
I want to get that game, but
well, that's
Suicide.
cool. No, I played a little bit. Sophia's younger brother, he has played a lot of it.
We have heard a lot of him playing it.
He stayed up all night. So that poor guy. So the
For
point being,
us.
yeah, poor guy. Thing is that this game is a little weird because the Suicide Squad takes place in Metropolis. It doesn't take place in Gotham. It takes place in Metropolis. The Suicide Squad has been controlled by Brainiac. I'm actually glad we haven't seen any bit of Brainiac yet, or not that I know
Oh,
of.
you want to know who voices Brainiac? He's Malfoy's dad.
Oh, yeah, I know his name.
Yeah, I just
Cool.
found that out.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, his voice is really good,
He's a good
and
voice. But we haven't
he's the
actually
voice.
seen Brainiac, have we?
Yeah, we have
Oh, we
in
have.
the we have in trailers.
Oh, I guess I missed that then.
Yeah, no, they released a few trailers before that. Do you want me to do
No,
you want
no,
me to tell you okay, no, you're good. I wasn't gonna like cut all right, go for it.
no. I wouldn't be surprised with a lot of this. But the thing is that there were recurring characters from previous games into this game are Penguin, Ivy, but it's a different version of Ivy. It's like a kid that's like,
It's her daughter.
is it her daughter?
Kind of her daughter-ish.
That's
It's
the
like
spawn of Poison Ivy.
it's like it's hard for it.
Like
Well,
it's not her. It's not
there was a
her.
there was a flower that was planted after Ivy passed away,
Yeah,
at Arkham Knight,
yeah.
and they could be referencing that because there is a clip of Ivy that is circulating, but it is not her. It's weird, but it's not the same Ivy. It's just a
No,
kitty.
it's not. It's a
I
kid
need
that
to go
has
in. I need to.
memories of Ivy, but it's not Ivy. Like she recognizes Harley, but doesn't know why.
Yeah,
Yeah. So something like that. So I would you say it's like the spawn of Poison Ivy?
I would.
A
I would
clone?
no. It's just
No.
let's just call her Baby Ivy. Just for simpler terms,
Sure.
it's just like Ivy, but it's like not the same one. It's a rebooted Ivy.
So we have another version of Ivy, and of course we have the Justice League. We have John Stewart Green Lantern, which is hell yeah. Love me
I
some
think
Green
we're
Lantern.
also gonna get Hal Jordan. I think I saw something like that at some point. That we're
I haven't heard
gonna
anything
get
about that.
Hal.
That'd be I mean, I like John, but I mean cool with Hal, but I like John. We also have Barry Allen Flash. We have Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman, who is
Yes.
voiced by the great Kevin Conroy.
Yep.
Um, and it's an interesting take to see what the Justice League. You know, you play as Killer Shark, King Shark, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, Harley Quinn, and now with the newest edition of the season pass, Joker. Is it not
That's
part of the? Is it
no,
not
no,
part of the pass?
no. I'm just shaking my head
No.
because that's what we're getting. He he looks like he plays fun, but like he looks like he's gonna be exhausting.
Yeah, Millennial Joker is going to be a very interesting take.
Gen Z Joker.
He looks like he owns 3 food trucks. Like it's definitely something that where you're gliding around on a mechanical umbrella, and where this Joker is hailing from, like you said, another universe where he was a part of his own Suicide Squad.
Yep.
So this is a very interesting take, but also the fact that Penguin is now an arms dealer. We have, isn't it? What's his name? It's not Trinket, the little
Uh
tiny guy,
oh, Gizmo.
Gizmo. I like
We also
Gizmo.
have Gizmo and Toymang.
Yes, yeah, we have that, and then there's another character.
Amanda Waller.
No, I know that. I'm trying to think of like the other side characters.
I there's another one. I it
Why am I?
seriously
Yeah.
this is okay. So this entire video game. All right. So basically, guys, if you don't know, so originally the founders, Sefton Hill and his partner, I forget his name. They were the presidents of Rocksteady. They helmed all of the Arkham games, and then right before that, the release of Suicide Squad during in development, they sadly left. Which, if none of y'all are very well versed in the video game world, that is a terrible sign. That is a horrible design. Luckily, they actually did start their own studio, and I think they are working on a AAA DC game. And James Gunn has expressed in the past that like he is interested in expanding the Arkham world, but a lot of people had their theories that like the why they left is because they did not want to make a games of service. If y'all are not familiar with games of services, it's basically your Call of Duty War Zones, your Fortnites, all of those games that like they don't have to make another one. They just need to add on more content to get you to play and have more incentive to play it. And how they make their profits is basically you buy either if it's free or not, but if you buy the game and you buy the pass, that's how they get your money. And then they use that to either expand more content or also, but basically the backstory of this is that they did want to make a Superman game, but they were just told not to, they just couldn't make a Superman game. But actually Warner Brothers Montreal, who made the Gotham Knights video game, they were actually working on that Suicide Squad game. There were rumors years ago that I remember when I was in Texas, when I was living with my dad on the weekend, and I saw their rumor they were making a Suicide Squad game because it was teased at the end of Arkham Origins. They got that game, they were making it, bad development. So that studio, Warner Brothers, they gave it to Rocksteady. That's what they were working on. And it's only until recently that people found out they actually did want to make a Suicide Squad game. It's just not good. And it's also like not what we wanted at all. It's like I don't want to have games of service. I just want a single campaign. Focus less of your budget on the DLC and the skins and all that stuff and make an actual good game. The only takeaway from this that I want very important, because I don't want this to be the shit on Suicide Squad game show. It's that I'm sure the campaign is going to be marvelous. It's going to be amazing, but it looks like a dead city. There's really no life in it. No, there's no thumbs up for that game. All right, because a lot of the joy and magic is taken away from this. Like Arkham Knight came out 10 years ago and it looks a lot better than this. And it really hurts to see.
I will say
really.
though, with Arkham Knight, there were a lot of missed opportunities to play a lot of great side missions, like the rematch between Deathstroke and Batman were done by
Well,
20
the boss fights were horrendous in that game.
It's like really you took down dead.
You took him out with a tank, and when he came out, it looked like you're actually about to have a hand-to-hand combat, and then he's just taken out like a punk.
Batman
Yeah,
launched at him though.
Like Batman's OP, but it's like Deathstroke would definitely put up a fight. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, and then he gets cradled and put into the back car. He's like, I don't want to go to jail. Like he was just like he just submitted to the whole thing.
He seemed like a misbehaved child.
Toddler going in the car seat. Yes.
Yeah. He's like, buckle in. He's like, no, it's stupid.
No, I don't want to go to bed. And it's like just doing this stupid dance of fighting
remember that
nothing.
Nick Cole impression of a kid? He's like, I'm not tired. Just rubbing his eye.
Who was this?
Nick Kroll. He was doing a stand. You never saw a stand up? You said you did.
Nick Kroll. Who the hell is Nick Kroll?
That's sad.
Oh, sorry. I was confusing Nick Kroll with that. Who's that guy from Grown Ups 2? He was the bus driver. Do you remember that guy from Grown Ups 2? He was the bus driver. Nick Swartzen. I was confusing Nick Kroll with Nick Swartzen for a second there.
Yeah, I could see why.
We'll start with Nick.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But this
new game looks insane though. It looks great.
What Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad looks great to a degree of you get to explore more of the Arkham verse and you get to see Metropolis, you get to see all these different things, but I don't think as a game it's like
how much more exploring though, because
no, I know.
Because like you're not exploring it, they're killing the universe. Like Brainiac, all of the Justice League are murderers. They have killed people. Batman has guns and he's killed people. There's no undoing that button. And yeah, you are killing the Justice League as well, but also it's like it's kind of like the nail on the coffin because they're going to explore other multiverses as well. That's their get out of jail free card. Yeah, but it's also you're not really exploring the multiverse. It's like they retexture the maps so that it's like it's different but not that different, so you're not really exploring that much. And the other universes that are exploring and other characters that are coming in are unflattering for the Arkhamverse.
It would be kind of interesting to see like Blue Beetle make a cameo or something.
Yeah, so you can murk him. It's the only way.
As like a survivor. He's a survivor of the Justice League.
It would be cool, but I don't know. It's just I kind of lost faith. I'm still gonna play the campaign. I still want the campaign to be good because the Avengers campaign was good, but also the lack of variety in the city of exploring. It's a very dead city. And yeah, it's a dead city because Brainiac killed everyone. Yeah, sure, that's a good excuse, but also it's like it doesn't excuse the fact that like yeah, Gotham City was somewhat abandoned, except for like like criminals like roaming the streets. There's still life in that game. Like there's still like it. You don't have to like have. You can still have a dead city, but if it's still like pops and it's vibrant and it has a feel to it that you want to explore it, yeah, then but it's just I don't know, dude. Like I'm kind of ranting here, but this game is it's I'm sure the campaign's going to be good, but also there have been early reviews that came out that people just do not like it because of everything that I just talked about. It's a games of service. The gameplay is also like too much, like where it's like they're like somebody took a picture of like what the hub will look like, and it's just like so much shit thrown at it.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, no, these are the games that are coming out nowadays that are killing the industry.
Yeah.
You
No,
know, it's
I get it. It's a little much. Now, before we wrap up, what's a villain you'd want to see as an additional DLC character?
um I don't want to see any more villains in that video game, dude, because they're just gonna give them a gun.
Well,
That's it.
let me ask you. Don't think about how they're gonna do it. Let me just
I'm gonna
think
tell you
about.
how to do it
No.
because
Don't tell me
it'll
how. I'm just asking you this: what character would you want to see, and how would you want their gameplay to be? Let me add with that.
Deathstroke.
Oh, shit, that'd be cool. Yeah, you get. Well, he has a gun,
Yeah, he has a gun, but he also has a sword.
sword.
And like yeah, there's like somewhat of melee, but it's like the gun should come secondary. I feel
I
like
agree.
when you have like characters like because there's this like it's like Harley Quinn with a gun that makes sense,
Yeah.
because like how's she gonna use a bat? Deadshot with a gun. All right, yeah, no, his thing is guns.
Thing. Yeah.
King Shark, really?
I thought.
He gets a minigun,
Yeah.
and then Green Lantern has a gun, and Batman's holding guns, and it's just like it's a very gun-toting game,
Yeah.
and like I don't know,
No, I
it
get you.
really I really am just disappointed with how this game came out. Rocksteady used to be on top. This is a sad day for all of us. And also, I just realized that Zack Snyder is also not a good director. Fuck.
Okay.
Rebel
We'll do
Moon
that. We'll do
sucked.
it. We'll deal with
Batman
that every other
versus
day.
Superman sucked. Everything sucks. Man, except for yeah, no, everything sucks.
Okay. Well, before we wrap up, just
The
a quick
sun's
thing.
gonna blow us up.
We're all gonna die. I would like to see Sinestro kind of be a DC villain you could play as. That'd be kind of rad.
And he's gonna have a gun.
No, do not.
No, he is. He is.
Don't.
They're not going to revamp the gameplay, James. They already invested millions of dollars and they're hoping to get your money and you
Well,
play it
because
for
you can do
years.
different kind of guns. You can do like the swords he does, and then you can do the like a gun for Sinestro. Like you can do a lot of different stuff for
Oh, a
Sinestro.
great idea, but also they're not going to do it.
A girl can dream. Well,
You know what? I had dreams.
with that sad note, no, Colin, we can't.
They took me into the light. A beautiful lie. It's a line from Batman versus Superman.
I know your favorite movie of all time,
Apparently it was.
dude. You are broken. We're gonna have to actually have a sit down and
I
talk
have to
about
be
this.
fair, dude. It's like if I'm going to be critical
You can
about
be
other stuff,
fair, but you can still like
but
whatever you like.
I know, but it's like I told you in the text that like I tried rewatching them, but it's like, with everything Cameron said and all the stuff that I denied, it's like, hey, but that's his vision. Just because it's a vision doesn't make it good.
Cameron, I hope you're happy. You broke this
Cameron,
man.
you brought me into the light.
You broke my friend.
A beautiful cry.
Well, with that note of epiphanies, that'll wrap up episode 4, I think, of the Tu-Vie podcast. Thanks. I don't even. I'm too sad to end it now. Like I don't even want to do the
We
full
got
outro.
Deadpool 3 coming out though. That
We
shit
do have,
looks tight.
yeah, we do have Deadpool 3 coming out. That looks really, really good. Thank you guys again for watching. If you guys did enjoy the episode, be sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We also have some fun videos on YouTube. You guys can go check out and subscribe there. We also are on TikTok, Instagram, everywhere else you have social media. We're probably there. We're not Twitter, but Cameron sends them in. So it's the ones we get. Thank you guys again for watching. See you guys next time.